Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing something I haven't done on the channel before. I spent a large portion of the weekend playing, and I decided I'm going to give my thoughts on all the killers, hunters, and prop night, and rank them based off my own personal enjoyment. Before I start, if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you do it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off in the 5th spot is Igor. I really hate putting Igor here, but I felt very underwhelmed while I was playing him. Igor can call in a map-wide chainsaw sound effect to cover his movement. He can throw an explosive that damages survivors, and he can dash across the map with his chainsaw. Igor gives me straight up maniac vibes, reminiscent of Texas Chainsaw, but also kinda not. His bunny outfit makes him a lot more terrifying than the other killers, I will give him that. So why did I put him in the 5th spot? His chainsaw ability is it's a scuffed copy from Billy in Dead by Daylight. He can dash across the map the same, but it's only for about 5 to 10 seconds. And it felt like in some situations, it cost me more than it helped. His kit is so cool on paper, it just doesn't compare with the other killers. I think he needs some buffs, and definitely he could be in the conversation for top tier killers, but until then, he's at the bottom of the list. Coming in at number 4, we have Akasha. So when I first played Prop Night, like night 1 with Beak, I tried her out, and I thought she was terrible. I did not enjoy playing her one bit. But then I sat down and I started reading her abilities. So Akasha can place a ward that senses survivors' movements when they're nearby. She can turn to mist and she gains a speed buff from it. And then she can dash and deal big damage, which is a really nice ability. I really like Akasha's vibe. She gives me almost like one of those sisters from Resident Evil Village. I like the gruesome, gory face. She's soaked in blood. She's so pale. And she's got that long blade. I love it so much. It took me a game after I started playing to really learn her. That ward is actually a lot of use when you place it in the right spot. I was placing it nearby where I would down survivors. And I could tell immediately. And I would be right over there. Such a nice ability, and when they had a little bit of high ground on me, that dash to get up close, it was amazing. It was beautiful. And then that dash attack she can do, it was just sealing the deal. I got too close to the point where they couldn't run away. She is actually a quite fun character, but I think she's just not as good as the other 3. Overall, she's number 4 on the list. Alright, halfway through the list, it was a bit of a coin toss. I really had to think about it hard and long. It came down to personal interest. So there's number 3 was a really hard decision for me. It really came down to my personal preference between the two. But at the halfway point, we have Banshee. The easiest way to describe her is she's the character for new players. Banshee can curse gens and make it harder for survivors to repair them. She lets out a blood-curdling scream that damages and reveals any survivor is in its area. And she can fly across the map. Banshee looks like she just finished a scene from The Nun, and I wish I was kidding, but she looks like almost identical to the demon from that franchise. I think her kit is simple yet fun, and anyone can pick it up almost immediately. It meshes very well together and makes her one of the harder characters to hide from. I do think her scream is a strong ability and it could see a nerf or 2 in the future, but for now, she's going to sit at number 3. Coming in at 2nd place, I have a bit of a surprise. I have Imposter here. Imposter can turn into a prop or a survivor, and when he's a survivor, he can fake doing gens. He has the ability to pop a gen anywhere on the map, and he can backstab survivors. Imposter has this formal upper class vibe, and there's clear inspiration from the look-see from Crypt TV. I love how simple his design is, yet I get some serious sinister vibes coming from him. He's a very fun character to play, relying on stealth and deception to win matches. When I played him, I realized early on that it wasn't as easy to sneak up on survivors as I first anticipated. Players seemed skeptical immediately when I would approach. Things really clicked though on my second game with him. I started to fake gen repairs, and if I did it long enough, survivors would fall prey to my trap, and I'd capitalize the moment they got too close. I do feel like he should see an increased cooldown on his impersonate ability. It does seem a little too short for my liking. It definitely makes him very strong early on. Overall, he's number 2 on the list. And at number 1, I have Granny. Granny honestly surprised me with how much fun she is to play in game. She has the ability to place a knife that if any survivor comes nearby, it will chase them down and deal damage. She can turn invisible, and she can throw knives at people. Like, come on, that's pretty cool. I really like how creepy she feels when you look at her and when you play her. I really appreciate the simplicity in her design. That's honestly a recurring trend I love about this game. Most of the characters are so simply done. They just look nice compared to some other games out there. Going in, I didn't know what to expect, but I must say I was pleasantly surprised. Placing that knife that was just floating there was a great map presence for me, and it kept giving me a gauge of where I could find survivors. My lobby was pretty fun though. We were all going around with the bit that I was everyone's grandma, and we were just having a hilarious time. It was way too much fun. Going in, I didn't know what to expect. However, I was pleasantly surprised. Her floating knife adds quality map presence while she sneaks around with her invisibility, and the satisfaction from throwing her knives is honestly one of the better moments in the game. I feel like I'm Bullseye slinging them bad boys at those survivors. Overall, she is so much fun to play, and I think she's probably the best designed character in the game, and that's why she gets the number 1 spot. So there you have it. That is my take on ranking the Hunters in Prop Night. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like and comment down below. If you disagree with me, put it down in the comments. I'd like to see why. I'm open to hear it. Until then, guys, take care.